Hello, my name's Julie. Thanks for joining me for the third part of my reading journal series, where I hope you get some ideas and inspiration for your reading journal. Let's flip through the pages I've made so far in this Archer and Olive Forest Findings notebook. This was the title page using some scrapbook paper. My 26 books in 2026, which at the moment is looking very blank but will be updated very soon. These are my bookshelf pages where I made this little window. And then I did some challenge pages. Loved how this rainbow book challenge turned out with all the beautiful florals. My A to Z challenge. And finally, my book bingo. Today I'm going to be creating 3 pages, a book rating pocket page, a book awards page to be completed at the end of the year, and a books read page, which I'm going to be starting with first. I've already drawn in the little spaces to put my photos of the books that I've read. And because my goal is 26 books, it was a little bit of a squeeze to fit them all in. So what I've decided to do is turn this into a bit of a horizontal Dutch door situation, leave a little bit of room for decoration and carry on the back. That also allows me a little bit of extra room in the unlikely event that I exceed my target of 26 books in a year, which I have to say at this point is not very likely, but we'll have to see. So the first thing I need to do is cut my page, taking care not to get too close to the threads. I'm going to add this planny thing script washi across the top. I pre-made all my headings for the pages in the same font so I would have consistency for the whole year. So this is my books read page. I used label paper so that I can add them easily to the page. I was lucky enough to find that I had a 5-star stamp in a little collection that I bought for my scrapbooking a while ago, so I can use that for stamping underneath the books. I've got some Memento Tuxedo Black ink which I'm going to use, and because I'm stamping I want to make sure that put something underneath the page to make sure that it stamps evenly. Stamping is not my forte. So what I really should have done is measure the stamp first so that I could have spaced the books out a little bit more, particularly as I don't need all the space on the page. I could have had maybe 3 in a row, but never mind, I've started now, so I will finish in those immortal words of Magnus Magnusson. I finished the stamping. As a perfectionist, I'm not very happy with it, but it's going to have to do. I did remember that I recently bought this Fiction and Florals sticker book from Live Love Posh, and inside it has these star stickers which would have fitted perfectly, but never mind. I'm going to add a few stickers to the bottom from that Bookish Collection sticker book. It is still available at the time of filming. I think the washi has sold out, and you can save 10% with my code Julie10 on Live Love Posh. I think we need a little quote in there for this one more chapter fit. I think it just will squeeze in. And on this page, because I don't know if I'm going to add anything here, I don't really want to decorate this section, but possibly could put something here. I've got this afternoon reading sticker book from DoodleDiarys, and it's got this large sticker here. It's cozy reading by the fire, so I think that would fit perfectly. And then it's got some decoration on the page, but space if I need to add more. And I'll add this quote from the Live Love Posh sticker book. Coffee, candles and chapters. Now onto my second page, which is going to be my book rating page. I thought I would use this piece of paper from Planything as a background, seeing as I want to have a library vibe for this page. Thinking about the days where you used to have a little library card that you'd put inside the pocket, and that's why I want to make this a pocket page. I need to cut it down a little bit to make the pocket. And I'll move this out of the way. My cutter out and slice a little bit of it off. I'm going to use this pretty foiled script card for the pocket, and it's going to be a very simple pocket. I need it to be a little bit wider so that I can fold over the edges. My old Fiskars paper trimmer had a scorer, which would have been useful. I have a bone folder that I can use. This is going to bulk up my pages a little bit. I would have preferred to use paper rather than card, but I couldn't find anything suitable. I've got my little fold there, but I'm not going to fold this part until I've checked with the card. So I need to slot the card in, and then that tells me where I need to crease on this side. Okay. So now I'm going to stick that down with strong tape before I attach it to the page. But I do need to take some of the height off. So let's just check. Not much actually. Just really to where that shelf is. I'm going to try this red tape, but I've had it a long time. So I'm not sure how well it's going to stick. If it doesn't work, I've got some other double-sided sticky tape that will do the trick. Now for the moment of truth. It feels sticky. really press it down. And we've got our pocket. So now we'll add some more. Just stick it onto the page. I've peeled all the backing off, so now I need to get it onto the page, and this is the important part. And I think I ought to start from here. Down, so hopefully the book will close. It's going to be a bit of a strain on the spine, but it will be okay. Next page is a little bit uneven, so straighten that out. So now I need to make the card to go in the pocket, which is going to have my ratings system on. And for that I'm going to be back to the stamps. So I've got this Project Life card I thought I would use, and I'm going to hopefully do a better job with the stamping. Not perfect still, but I can go over that with pen. Okay, not too bad. I've got some ink splotch stamps that I got from DoodleDiarys, so I thought I'd add a couple of ink splotches. I'll put some paper underneath just in case. Is that enough? Maybe something small here. Okay, I'm not sure about that, but it's different. I need to colour in the stars. Got a gold metallic pen. I'm going to write my ratings system in now and come back when that's done. I've written my ratings down. I know everybody does their own ratings, but to summarise, I've gone with 1 star being an awful book that I didn't like at all and maybe didn't even finish, 2 being a book I was disappointed with, struggled maybe to finish it, kept waiting for it to get better, but it didn't. 3 is an okay read, reasonably enjoyable, some things I didn't like about it, but nothing special. 4 is an enjoyable book, well written, something that kept my interest. And then 5, obviously, is that elusive book that you couldn't put down, that you really loved, made you feel something or think something. Definitely worth a reread. So those are my personal ratings. Now, I realised that because this is a Project Life card, it's got something on the reverse and I've got ink all over it as well. So I'm going to cover that up. I also have this Project Life card, which has due returned, and actually looks like the library card. So I'm going to add this to the top so that I can put it in the pocket. It was easier just to find another Project Life card that will fit over. I want to make sure that that ink isn't going to smudge. I'm not sure quite where that ink came from. Hopefully it's not going to get on anything else. I'll add some double-sided sticky tape. I keep forgetting that you can't tear this red tape. If I was using my other double-sided tape, I could just tear it, so I should have used that, but it's okay. It definitely is still sticky, which is good. I think it must have just been the end of the roll that had lost some of its stick. So let's match these 2 up. They're from the same collection, so they should fit on top of each other. And I think I'll cut the top part off because this says these memories belong to rather than this book belongs to. And because I want this to show when the card pops out of the pocket, I'm going to put it at the top, and then I could add some decoration to the bottom or a quote. Quite straight. I used tape runner on this so that I could adjust the position if I needed to. It's not quite in the middle either. Third time lucky, I think that's okay. But I do want to check how it looks in the pocket. That's okay. I've taken a couple of stickers from the afternoon library sticker book. And all you need is books. So I think that is finished, although I might need to have a title there. And I was thinking I could have it this way round or the other way round, and I just need to put the title on. I have this star rating guide, but I think I'm going to ink it up like this one because I don't like the white on the top. So after a shaky start, I found my groove again. Unfortunately, I couldn't remember what ink I'd used for the book bingo, and I picked a brown that doesn't actually match, but it will be okay. And the backing hasn't come away, that's why it's not sticking. There we go. So that's my star rating guide finished, except maybe a title. But I want to move on to what I'm really looking forward to the most, which is my book award pages. For my book award page, I had the idea of creating a stage scene. This is something I did a few years ago for my Christmas sticker hunt, where I made these flap pages and had the sticker hunt monthly pages inside. But unfortunately, this hasn't held up too well over time. The flaps are just about lasting, but I use this pretty glitter paper and you can see that pieces of it have come off already, mostly because gluing glitter can be very problematic. So I thought I'd change it up rather than recreate this look and do something a little bit simpler. I recently saw a video from Hubman and Chubgirl where they made a movie night spread. They folded the pages of their journal to make flaps, but I'm going to keep it even simpler than that and make the stage without the flaps for this spread. And I'm going to be very brave because I'm not confident with drawing, and I'm going to use my new Artistro pens to do the drawing. I am counting these squares to make sure that everything is as symmetrical as possible. I always recommend going in with pencil first, because then, as you see me do here, if you make a mistake, you can rub it out and try again. I'm turning the book around so that it's closer to me and I've got more control over what I'm doing. Now I'm turning the book round and it's time to draw the curtains going down. I'm trying to keep the lines as steady as possible, but I don't have a very steady hand. But I think because I'm drawing velvet curtains, being able to see some of the overlap is fine because it looks like the folds in the material. I'm testing out some different colours for the floor of the stage. Initially I was thinking brown, but I actually think the darker grey is going to make the red pop a little bit more. It doesn't matter that the pen has some streaking where I'm overlapping it. You can see I really can't draw straight lines, but it just looks like the floorboards, so that's fine. I'm going in with the red pen one more time just to darken it on the areas where there would be a little bit of shadowing from the folds of curtains. That's something my mum suggested when I told her what I was doing. I'm using a Pigment Micron 8 to do the outlines of the curtains. I really love these Artistro acrylic markers. They don't bleed through the paper, and also you don't get that pilling that you do with some pens when you go over and over the same spot. I finished the curtains by adding a little bit more detail with a Pigment Micron 5. Then I add the book awards title with the font that I'm using throughout this journal. I've got the Happy Planet journaling sticker book and it's got these little banners in which I thought I could use. If you go online, you can find ideas for different awards to give. I just chose a few. And I thought that I'd mix it up and not just give awards for the best, but also some awards for the worst. So I think that page is done and I'm really happy with it. So let's have a quick recap of the pages I made today. This one was the one I was a little bit disappointed with. Who knows, I may try and change it up after I filmed this video, but it's good for you to see that not everything turns out perfectly, because sometimes I think YouTube gives people that impression, but there are many times that things I do don't go to plan. But I do really like the stickers and the page design. It was mainly just the wonky stars that bothered me. So that's my books read overview with my star ratings, and as I say, it will look a lot better once it's filled in. Then we have my book award page, which I absolutely love, and my pocket page with my 5-star rating, or my star rating guide. I hope this video has given you some ideas of things to try in your reading journal, either this year or next year. And I'm hoping to be back with a flip through video quite soon to show you what I've read so far in 2026 and what my detailed review pages actually look like. I'll put the link to my reading journal playlist on the screen here in case you're interested in seeing how I made any of those other pages I showed you. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you subscribe and click that notification bell so you can be updated when I post my reading journal flip through video. Until next time, I hope you have a really good week, and I look forward to seeing you in another video really soon.